Hi guys, it is me, Belinda, and you're at Belinda's Book Nook, in case you didn't know where you clicked. And it is Friday, so we're gonna do it Friday reads. I almost didn't do Friday reads because this room is so hot. It's hot, and I'm tired. I'm gonna apologize for just the presentation here because my bags under my eyes are because we took Ella yesterday. Ella's my new puppy for anybody that's just watching a video. And we took her for her spay yesterday. And so I was like, like everybody's like, oh, it's, it's the cone of shame. It's like, she's gonna, I didn't really know exactly what to expect. I just was like, okay, we're ready to handle this. And we took her, and then all day I was just like waiting for them to call me and tell me like, she okay? And what the doctor ended up doing was like waiting, I guess, until she finished all her surgeries and then called people. I'm like, oh, so I was, getting nervous and realizing how much I really care about this dog already. And, she's only been with us for about 3 months now. Yeah, 3 months. And so, so I was on watch duty last night, and she usually sleeps in a crate, but that thing is so big. It's bigger than my lampshade over here. And I was like, what? How is that? How is she gonna fit in it? So I camped out on the couch and I took one for the team. And I laid there, and she was really groggy when she first came out. Like, these are things you just don't know. Like, she's like a medium-sized golden doodle, and she's pretty strong. But, she's not accustomed to having something that heavy on her neck like that. So when they brought her out, the lady mentioned, she's still learning how to use the cone, to walk with the cone. So we hold it. And if you don't hold it, her head was just like drop down. So, and she was druggy, so we held it getting into the house, and then she was just, and they explained to me before we saw her that she's going to be out of it, from the sedation and all the medication, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, she was definitely not completely herself. We get her home, and she did a lot of sleeping, which I thought was normal. But realizing now, when I volunteered for the duty on Right 1, is that all that sleeping meant that she was going to have a harder time falling asleep later. I was thinking, oh, gee, it's a major surgery. She's still going to be sleepy. So everybody's like, good night, and everybody leaves, and she's kind of mellow. And, I got myself set up on the couch. I have my audiobook, actually. I was like, I'm going to listen to that. That way I'm not really disturbing her with light or anything. I started on it, and then I can see her in the dark, like she's gotten up and she's walking around, and she completely can't, like, she does not have the concept of how the width and the depth of this cone. And so, like, I'm wearing like my pajamas, and like I get up to go to the bathroom, and she's like taking me out, like it's like such sharp plastic, it hits my leg, and I'm like, oh my god, because she's used to like walking right up under me, like always. And when I wash the dishes, she'll lay on the floor at my feet and put her paw on my foot. You can't do that, babes. With this big thing in your head, like, those things are not an option. And I feel so bad because she's so confused, like, what happened? I went in and I came out, and now I'm wearing this thing, and everybody's telling me not to touch down there, and and I'm itchy. They shaved it, it's gonna itch. So it has been very interesting for all those who probably, I should have told you to like fast forward so you didn't have to hear all of that detail. But so I'm tired, and I knew it was going to hit me, and I should have done the video earlier, but I went to go do some grocery shopping, and I had some other things to do today. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it. So it's late. It's hot in this room. Apparently the heat does not want to leave us. It left us for a little bit. It is going to return again next week for a second round of a heat wave. But it's really not fully leaving, because like today is, it may not be the heat wave temperature, but the humidity is like soupy, soup. I was supposed to wash my hair today, and I was like, no, that's not happening either. I don't even, just, whatever. So, and that's the other thing about this spay, is like, she can't be bathed. Let's just review this. We're going to have a heat wave. we're in hot, sticky weather. She's in the house. So yeah, strong puppy smell. But that is my drama, and that is why I am extra loopy and tired today. But I'm glad I did come because I want to get back into the videos. I think if I just, keep kind of pushing myself to do it, it'll get back into the swing and be natural. Because Friday Reads was always easy to me because I babble. And for those of you that come and listen, thank you, because it's not very structured. So, okay, so let's chat. So the last I saw you, we were talking about my summer TBR options. And before that, I was telling you about what I was reading. And I finished some things. I finished the Anne of West Philly. I don't know if I had mentioned that in one of those videos, so I will say it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It is not, it doesn't depart very far from like the story. It's a piece of the story, and obviously it's a graphic novel, so it can't go too long, but really cute. I really enjoyed it, and I love the graphics in here. This is really Maisha Haynes, I guess that's who did the illustrations. Really, really beautiful. I told you I also finished the One Italian Summer. That was a very good, fun book. I did really enjoy that. Now, the other one that I think I was trying to wrap up when I talked to you guys was Recursion by Blake Crouch, and I told you I had read Dark Matter. Now, drumroll please, I finished it. But here's the thing. I think this author is incredible at like fast-paced thriller, suspense, definitely mind-bending. What I will say, if you've never read his books before, Dark Matter is a good entry one with him. I think it was it had twists and turns, but it was really fun and engaging from beginning to the end. I felt we had a full, wonderful, a full, interesting story. And it really just was, it was refreshing because it was just not really the genre I've been reading in a long, long time. And so, my son had read it and wanted me to read it, so I read it and I loved it. And then he got this one and he said to read this one. Now, I have to say he and I have parted ways on our belief on this. I believe this is a good book. He believes this is really, really good. And he likes this better than Dark Matter. I disagree, and here's the reason why. I think that Dark Matter had a full story arc. I think you were engaged and invested in the characters. I thought it was a really interesting concept and would love to see it as a movie. I was on the edge of my seat. It kept me going very fast. This one, I think, is a little bit more higher level. Like when you read sci-fi and you can kind of read like, I don't know how they call it, like soft sci-fi or and you can read hard sci-fi, and it is just like intense. It's very big in the world building, but there's just a lot more detail and a lot more things to kind of hold and contain in your mind while you're reading the story. I'm not saying that this is that, but I'm saying in compared to Dark Matter, I feel like this one, it was jumping back and forth, and it was one of those, I think I would have benefited in reading this in a closer, like, seated readings. So, I can't say I could read this in one sitting, but if you're one that could read a book in one sitting that's about this size, if you read it in one, I think you'd love it, because I think it would, the timeline and things would be able to be held. I think I jarred myself kind of dropping in and out of it and not doing it in a closer time span than I think Dark Matter, I think I plowed through that one and loved it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why this one didn't work for me as well. The second, it was a harder concept to kind of like, to kind of, or not the concept, but to keep track of what's happening, kind of, I guess. The other thing is, like, the book is roaring along, and it's really good. And then I looked and I'm like, wait, we're almost done. And it was rolling, and then it came to a screeching halt. So I think that this one's pacing was maybe a little off. I mean, if you're going to do all of that, you got to have that. I just wasn't so thrilled with the ending. And I felt like it wasn't for all of that buildup and all of the knowledge and all of the information, I didn't feel it was a complex, a solution, and the end of the story that it should have been. It was kind of rushed. Maybe he got rushed to get this out. I don't know. But so for that reason, I still enjoyed the story and I'm glad that I read it. But if I had read this first, I probably wouldn't be as excited or would have jumped to read Dark Matter, because I would have been like, well, I didn't really like the ending of that. So sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I'm forgiving as authors of, whether it's a first book or not, because, just every single time you come out with a book, it is an opportunity to wow somebody or to make somebody not want to read that book, or, or what have you. And so I don't think it has to just be a debut that we kind of, give more grace to. But I think I wouldn't have jumped to read one of his other books right away. So I think that Dark Matter is definitely mine. My son liked the Recursion better than I did. But I did like it. I'm glad I read it. I just definitely think that the other one really was the one for me. So that's done, which I'm happy to say. Another one that I read, and my lovely dog, where is it? I actually don't even have it in here. Got a hold of my cute bookmark I had in here, and yeah, so it's no longer with us. So this one is Jasmine Gilroy's By the Book, a meant-to-be novel, and I love her stories. I love them. I can't remember how many years ago I read the first one from her, and I just was like, and I don't read a lot of romance, but I will read hers. I also liked Beverly Jenkins, is that what her name is? I read one of hers that was kind of a historical romance. I like that. But in general, I'm not, it's not really a genre that I always frequent or I lean to. And so hers are always really fun, and really interesting in how she brings about the stories of the characters. And this one, I really liked the story. I think the pacing was nice. I was pleased to hear, see where she took the story. I ended up reading probably the first third of the book, and then I found the audio and I started listening to the audio and really loved the audio. Something about the author, the person that's narrating, she sounds to me like what's her name? Oh my god, I'm blanking out, and I can see her face right now. The actress, and I have her book. I can't see it here. But anyway, because I'll sit here with but she sounded like this other actress, and I was like, oh, Gabrielle Union. She sounded like Gabrielle Union. Every time, in her laugh even, and the way that she's talking, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like the whole time it was her reading the book, but it wasn't, it was somebody else. But this is just another fun one. Good for the summer, or the winter. Like sometimes I think of romances in the winter is nice too. It's like a little love hug in the winter, and then in the summer it's just a fun fling. I don't know. I love that. So this was really good. And so I think that I've completed. Oh no, I'm lying. I have one more. That I'm supposed to have finished reading this month. And so that's where the hustle is going to come this weekend. And I don't know. I don't know, because I have this digitally, but I have a feeling it's longer than I think, and it could be, a problem here. It could definitely be a problem. Okay. Actually, I could look down here. No, it says it's 352 pages, which isn't too bad. It's called On Rotation by Shirlene Obuobi. And remember, I showed you the picture of it, really cute cover. This one, I thought was just going to be a fun, fast, fun summer read. And I started it. I'm only probably maybe about 8% into it. Yeah. And yeah. So this is probably going to spill over into next month. But I'm hoping, like I said, I have to get in further to know if I'm committed, that I'm enjoying it or not. It's really too soon to tell, because I really like to get acquainted with the characters, and I don't feel that way just yet. So we'll see how that turns out with that. So when I finish that, then I can start conquering some of the books, or selecting from that list that I had told you that I was thinking about for the rest of the summer. And I was also thinking, after I recorded that videos, I really still have a lot of books on my cart. When I'm looking over here, I'm always looking at the cart. I put it right there so I can see it. Yeah, and that needs to be corrected. And I also want to confess that I have deposited some books that were not on my original cart, TBR, on the cart, that are basically hijacking space right now. So it's not good, because it makes me feel like I have not made progress. And I have made some progress on it. It's just not as much as I'd like. So I'm going to have to kick it into high gear the second half of the year and really try to make it a priority. You know what's funny and what's interesting about that is, because I created that, was it at the beginning of the year? Whenever you think I did it. I think it was around the beginning of the year. Some of the books I'm not really like gravitating towards right now. And so I think that's why I'm not really making as much progress as I want to. Like, when I put it there, I had a different mindset. The second reason is I have a bunch, like on the second tier, I have a bunch of very heavy books, like just like Cast. Isabel Wilkerson is amazing. I love her. I love her book that I read, hers. It was very educational. But let's just face it, it's not a warm and fuzzy and happy story. It's it's history, and it's examining the migration in this country. So this one, Cast, I know is going to be heavy. And then I have in there 400 Souls, which is another one that's going to be very heavy. And then I have, what's that other one? A Black Woman's History of the United States. That one I do really want to read. That one so badly. I think that one, I'm just gonna love it. But it's still not like a light. So I feel like it's almost like I don't want to like taint my summer vibe with too much heavy. What are you gonna do? I don't know. So I do have that, and I feel like that's the case. And even some of the fiction I have in there is, I'm sure has issues that deal with the struggles of Black people in America, within the context of their storyline. So I've been, as you can see, trying to really infuse fun stuff for the rest of the summer before we get back to the fall. Fall, I feel like I can be more serious, which is rather weird. Serious and mysteries, right? I don't know why, but that's I like to solve something in the winter. Okay, so this is not going in because I've stuck things in there that are not supposed to be in there. The other thing that I want to start, so this weekend I'm going to work on rotation. Okay, we're going to try to make good headway, so by next Friday I can be able to say that I know more about the characters in the book. Okay. The other one that I think I want to start in my TBR from the summer that I mentioned to you is this Adua novel by Ijeaba Skego. I know. Maybe I need to go online and see if I can find the pronunciation. But this one, look, first of all, let's all review. It's very thin, so that's good. The font is a decent font. Doable, right? That's a quick win. I learned the psychology of getting quick wins early in the month to make me feel that much better. Now this one I told you I don't think I'll probably finish in August, but I want to start it. And I probably will go into the year, but I would like to this weekend visit some countries. And if I'm reading this in chronological order, after the introduction, the first country I will be going to this weekend is oh, wait a minute. Did she go to the United States the first place? Yep. So after the introduction, she goes to so I'll do the United States, I'm sorry, and then Canada is the country too. So it's 195 countries that she goes to. And oh, it's pretty cool. In the top, she tells you the country number. And so this is, Canada will be 2 of 195. And then she tells you the year and the month she first visited. So she might, and then the number of visits. So like Canada, she's gone 5 times. Let's just see. So Egypt, she's gone, that's the country 17 of 195. She first went in December 2009, and she's visited it 2 times. What? Like 2 times. I have not been once. So I think I'm really gonna like this book. I really am. It has the new book smell, and it just feels so good, and it's so beautiful. I just gotta keep it away from that little puppy of mine, because I would just be torn. But I love it's like I said, a great coffee table book to just look through the pictures and see these places. And apparently she visited a lot of these places. Oh, this one she only visited once. I was gonna say, it looks like she visited everything multiple times, but not necessarily. No, there's a lot more here that are one time. So I think I will do the United States and Canada at least. Maybe that's like the goal, to do a couple countries. And see what her adventures are. So I'll be doing a little traveling to Canada. I would welcome going to Canada because maybe it's cooler than it is here. I don't know, but, and don't look at my nails. I need to go. I like the concept of gel nails, but I don't like the concept of having to be able to go back and have them remove it. Like, I like to be able to take it off myself. So, the staying power is great until it starts to peel. Anyway, what else? That's it. I think that's it. That's my plans. I'm going to read a couple countries. I'm going to try to start a duo. I'm going to make some headway in on rotation, and I'm going to continue to work on my book journal. That is just, I'm still only halfway through the year, so there is a chance that I can get myself back on track. I started out so strong. We'll have to just have a hard talk with oneself next year on how we're going to approach this. I love it. I love the format this year. I just don't love how I'm falling behind on it. And then I think I told you guys I've also, so I can't just like fail at that. I have to fail at 2 things, because I decided that I'm going to also do a digital record keeping of my my book journal, and I'm loving it. First of all, if I could let go of the tactile, that I love I love tactile things. I like crafts. I like to use my hands. If I could let go of that, I would go all the way into this digital and just do this next year. But I'm going to tell you right now, even if it's an epic fail at the end of the year, I will be still getting another journal, because there's something about it. It's like starting school at the beginning of the year, and you're getting all your school supplies. Like, I get the journal, I get the stickers that I'm gonna use, and I start laying it out. I like to draw my calendars in it. I just gotta figure out, maybe to take off the pressure, is that I'm only going to allow myself to write a paragraph on a book. And if I want to include quotes, to do that, or something that would expedite it. Because what happens is I get too far away and I forget things, or I have a lot to say and I'm like, oh, then I just don't want to sit down and write it, like I procrastinate. So I don't know. But so this year, instead of just 1 journal, it's going to be 2 that I will fail, right? But I still have a whole half a year to redeem myself. And there is a possibility. There's always the possibility that I could do that. Let me know what you guys are doing. Are you guys keeping on book journal also as well? What's your weekend plans? What are you reading? And I will talk to you again next week. I'm coming back next week. I'm not gonna not do it. I will let you know where I am. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.